Alright guys, today I'm going to be unboxing the most hyped up barbell that I've ever seen personally, at least in the modern era. And this is the Kabuki Strength Next Generation Power Bar. Okay, this is the world's strongest barbell as far as I've seen from, you know, both Rockwell hardness, which is one of the things that they often talk about, and tensile strength. So I'm going to open it up because I want to use it, and I just got it in, and I just want to do this quick video before I use it and show you what it looks like. Now it's important that you have the right tools for opening a barbell, and I've opened a lot of barbells. So I like to have my handy dandy box cutter knife, my pliers, and these cutters just in case. Now, Kabuki Strength is owned by and created by and started by the legendary Chris Duffin. Chris Duffin, for those that don't know, is a super strong powerlifter who's also an engineer, so he combines two of his passions, both engineering as well as barbell training or powerlifting, and has created some awesome tools. We've reviewed some in the past, those being the shoulder rock, the Dufflo bar, and now the power bar. And ooh, that is a beautiful end cap here. Just take a look at this end cap. See if I can turn it around. There you go. As you see, they use the squat face that they use on a lot of their t-shirts as the end cap logo, which is pretty cool. Woo! Wow, that is pretty. Show some of the knurl. See if it'll get it in there. That's a center knurl with the marks. Proper powerlifting knurl. End sleeve spin. Woo! Now this is a cool looking barbell. So it's got a 29mm diameter. One of the big things about this bar is that the steel used is so strong, and that's one of the things that really is the separator between this and most of our other barbells. One of my favorite power bars is the Ohio Power Bar from Rogue. I've got the stainless steel version. It's got an awesome knurl, but one of the things you understand about the Ohio Power Bar, it's got a high tensile strength, but there are bars with higher tensile strength. I think that bar is around 216,000 PSI tensile strength. This bar is around 250 to 258,000 PSI tensile strength. I do not know of a bar that has a higher tensile strength on the market. If there is, let me know. But one of the other things is this knurl, because the steel is so hard, this knurl, as it's put in there, it's not going to wear down like most other knurls. In fact, it will probably wear down your J-cups and the plastic on your J-cups before it will wear down your actual bar knurl, okay? They actually did a test, and this is pretty cool, I'll put a link in the bio below, where they put a Texas Power Bar on a lathe and then rubbed this against it, and this bar basically ate the Texas Power Bar alive.
And that fast, we're literally eating their bar away.
And I know everybody's, you know, all the old school guys, the guys that are like, oh, the Texas Power Bar is the greatest thing of all time. Well, let me tell you something. Texas Power Bar was a great bar, and it's still a good bar, but it's not the best bar that's out there. This one's destroyed it. The Ohio Power Bar is a better bar than Texas Power Bar, and this one literally destroyed it by its knurl, okay? So this has a strong knurl. I'm excited to use this. I'll use it for my first session in bench today. So let's do that. One thing I want to do really quick is measure the diameter of the shaft and also weigh it. Now this is said to be a calibrated barbell, and it's also a fairly expensive barbell. So at this cost, you know, you should be expecting to get a pretty dialed in bar, and so I'm going to get those tools. Okay, so I've got it zeroed out. I'm going to go ahead and grab a plate just to show you that it's zeroed out, and it should be pretty accurate. This is a 1/2 kilogram plate from Rogue. And it's showing at a 1/2 kilogram. Rogue's pretty accurate on these. These are pretty expensive change plates. So just to show that it's accurate, I'm going to zero it out. And so I'm going to grab the bar. I'm just going to place it on there and let's see what we get. Okay, it's showing 19.85. Okay, so it's holding right around 19.9. So this is a little bit less, 0.1 kilogram it's showing. It's changing right around 19.9. So it's about 0.1 kilogram shy of 20 kilograms. Like I said, this isn't the most accurate scale, but it's pretty close. And that's a pretty close reading. I obviously would have liked to see it exactly at 20 kilograms, as that's the stated weight, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take these digital calipers and adjust and see. Now, the battery is a little low, it looks like, because the screen is not showing too well, but I can still see it. So I'm going to try and show, I'm going to zero it out. So it's currently at 0. It's currently zeroed out. I don't know if you can see, it's a really light screen, but you just have to trust me. It's currently zeroed out. And I'm going to do 29 millimeters is what the stated weight is, stated diameter is. And so I'm going to draw this in. And it is right. Didn't do anything to it. I want to make sure you can see this. Right at 29 millimeters. I hope you can see that. See if I can get that in there. 29 millimeters. So it's exactly as it's stated. So I'm working up to a heavy floor press. I don't do these a lot, but from what I can tell, you're supposed to leave your legs all completely flat. It's supposed to be all upper body. So I'm going to work up to a heavy one. One thing I've noticed while working, this knurl is some of the best knurl that I've used. I mean, this thing's, it's one of those knurls that's sharp, aggressive, but actually, let me re-say that. It's aggressive, but it's not really sharp. It's not like it's going to tear your hand apart. It's very similar to the Rogue Ohio Power Bar, which is my favorite knurl, but I've used that one a lot. I haven't used this one a lot, so I can't say that this one's better. But just in this little time I've been using it, it feels just perfect in the hand. Oftentimes with a sharp knurl, it doesn't feel very good when you're pressing because all that weight's pressing in on your palm. But this feels great. It really does. I mean, this is a fantastic knurl. So something I was just thinking about on that same note, this steel is so hard, the tooling that's required to cut this has to be not only really expensive because it's got to be changed every so often so you get a consistent cut in every barbell, but this company, Kabuki Strength, although Chris Duffin probably has a great mind for engineering and understands powerlifting, and Kabuki Strength is making great equipment, we also have to understand that they're not an Alico or a Rogue Fitness. They don't have the manufacturing power that one of those do. So although they're probably using great machines, getting an absolutely perfect, consistent knurl across every part of the knurling on the barbell is probably pretty hard. So I don't see any issues. I just want to point this out. I don't see any issues on any part of the bar except these little parts where they start and stop on the knurl marks. And it's not a big, and it's not that much, you know, it's like maybe a 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. So it's not really something that you're going to notice in hand. It's just something from a visual perspective, which really, I mean, this is training, so does it really matter that much? Now, not that it matters too much, but I do want to see what the spin's like, and I'll show you real quick. I've got 265 on the bar, so about half that, a little less than half that on each side of the bar. So I'm going to spin this and just show you what the spin looks like. It doesn't really matter for a powerlifting bar very much, but something to look at because it does have bronze bushings. So as I suspected, not very much spin. This isn't a barbell that you want to use for the power lifts or the Olympic lifts, things like that. It's not really designed for that. This narrow would tear your hands up, and it's a 29mm shaft, not very optimal. I'm sure you could do power cleans just fine with it, but just understand that, you know, this is a powerlifting barbell. It's a power bar. It's not an Olympic weightlifting bar. A little bit more grinder than I want it to be. I think I'm gonna end it there. All right, thanks for watching. That said, I would be remiss if I didn't show you real quick. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably should. I'm sure many of you do because I have more followers on there than I do here on YouTube, but if you haven't, I showed a quick walk through the gym, and I recently cut a new door into the gym to go to the third stall of the garage, and it is epic. This makes the garage gym now 50% larger for 50% more gains. So I'm gonna turn that probably into the cardio corner or something else. But thanks for watching. This is Coop with GarageGymReviews.com. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm gonna be doing a more in-depth review on this, on all the details and everything, and much more than I could do in a video on the site. So be on the lookout for that. I'll see you next time. Peace.